The story begins with a young couple who got married in high school and had their first child shortly after. They lived in a small one-bedroom apartment in a rundown complex. When their child turned 4, they moved to a 2-bedroom unit in the same building, hoping to provide a better space for their growing family. Though the parents fought often, life seemed relatively normal. Their child made friends with other kids in the complex, including a cousin who lived nearby. Things changed drastically when a new neighbor moved in next door when the child was 6 years old. The neighbor, an older woman, immediately took a strong dislike to the child and did not hide it. Every time the child went outside to play, the woman would appear, standing in her doorway, glaring with an intense, hateful stare. The child instinctively felt something evil about the woman, and in response would make a cross with her fingers whenever they met eyes. This infuriated the neighbor, who falsely accused the child of making rude gestures. However, the child's mother believed her daughter over the neighbor. Soon after, strange occurrences began in the child's bedroom. Her beloved rocking horse would start rocking on its own at night, making a distinct creaking sound that even her parents could hear. A doll, which was supposed to open and close its eyes based on its position, began blinking randomly or keeping its eyes open while lying down, which terrified the child. There were also strange knocking sounds in the walls. Fearful and unable to sleep, the child was allowed to sleep in her parents' bed. One day, the child and her mother found themselves locked out of their apartment. Without any other options, the mother reluctantly knocked on the neighbor's door to ask to use the phone. Inside the neighbor's apartment, the child noticed disturbing decor. Upside-down crosses, strange masks with horns, lit candles, and bottles filled with colored powders. Though visibly unsettled, the mother maintained her composure, made the necessary phone call, and quickly left with her daughter. That night, the mother recounted the bizarre experience to her husband, who informed his father, a pastor. The family received a bottle of holy oil, which they used to anoint their home. The mother's side of the family, who were deeply religious, also began a series of prayer meetings to protect the household. A few days later, the family discovered a line of strange white powder spread across their back door's threshold. The mother poured holy oil on the powder, and to their shock, it absorbed the oil and disappeared. The neighbor continued to harass the child, at one point trying to offer her candy, but the child refused, wary of the woman's intentions. However, a short time later, the child's friend from another building, who happened to be the neighbor's granddaughter, offered her some soft chews. The child, who loved sweets, accepted the candy without hesitation. Almost immediately, she fell violently ill, with severe fever, darkening skin, and dark circles under her eyes. Doctors were unable to find a cure, and she couldn't keep anything down. The child's mother, suspecting foul play, questioned her daughter, who confessed to accepting candy from her friend. After investigating, the mother discovered that the girl was related to their sinister neighbor. Alarmed, the family called for help. The child's grandfather, the pastor, and her extended family rushed over, anointing her with holy oil and forming a prayer circle around her. They prayed intensely, speaking in tongues, as the child drifted in and out of consciousness.